we go. So to start off, I do this as a slide because I think it's a really good slide when it actually starts to build, and it's a little bit difficult to translate. But this is something that we first started to share around the middle of this year at our user summit in Vegas. And it's really, based on that side, looking at technology evolution from a number of dimensions. So one of which really is the sources, the actual underpinning technology, who's using it, and the value, and obviously the amount of data. So if we wind the clock back, to the 70s, early 80s, as you said, a lot of it, that technology was dominated by mainframe, very few vendors. A lot of it was around back office automation. I expect a few in your room remember, basically these days, either you covered or actually involved in that time. So this is really the birth, basically, of IT in terms of the mainstream operation. If we then start to wind the clock forward, we're into the growth of the ERPs, the client servers, as everyone will remember. The amount of people, in particular in Australia, will have mainframe, they'll have client server, they'll have web apps. Latest generation will have software as a service complaint. So one of the other risks, basically challenges on that side, is landscape changes. So at that point where, well, I know I only needs to deal with mainframe, I only needs to deal with client server. Now I've got a whole level of complexity around that. If I'm now bridging at the top end of stuff into big data analytics, agile BI, in-memory databases, there's a whole lot of other complexity to manage, and that's what we're seeing. Sort of, the enemy of information potential is this breadth of complexity on that side. What we also want to do is consolidate skill sets. Because most of it does is start to address some of this split around here about doing more with less on that side. If I can get actually guys automate more productive from that side, or I can basically automate some of these functions, self-service capabilities, that's going to assist up on that basis. So we talk about mapping analysts for Excel. We have sort of capabilities. There's a front end called self-service DI, which again is a lightweight view basically of the integration world that allows BAs and everything else to go in and start designing. And most of the people that we sort of see around, we have some key people. So we have the developer on that side. We may have a BA. We have an architect. Depending on that side, we may have sort of data steward based on that side. So these are all people that can be involved in the process. Sort of historically, a lot of that interaction has been